and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving on to roll call.
Casey Benner,
Here.
Bill Hart. Here. Tom Hooper. Mark Buckheit. Here. Whitney Tucker. We have quorum.
Okay. Moving on to the approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting.
I move for approval. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on to the approval of minutes from our last meeting of September 16th of 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to the introduction of evidence.
We have the city ordinance, design guidelines, and then you have the staff packets that were provided to you last Wednesday. That's all I have.
Make a motion to approve the evidence.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the evidence. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
Okay, old business?
I have none.
Moving on to new business, we will start with SGHC 0. Oh, we are in October, aren't we? That threw me off. 001-25 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to install a 4-foot black aluminum fence in the rear yard at 298 Academy. Do we have anyone here to speak on that? Do you mind coming to the podium and introducing yourself, please?
My name is Mary Ellen Ladd, and we took down the wood fence. We were going to repair it, and us two old fogies out there, and it was like, oh my gosh, okay, no, we're just tearing this thing down. And there's like at least a 6-foot drop off in the back. We've got to replace it with something. And I know that black chain link is not acceptable, so we were going to go with something that we would never have to maintain and make it aesthetically nice with the neighborhood. And so we're going to try to go with the black aluminum, so we won't have to, like I said, try to paint, maintain, replace ever again.
Do we have any questions?
Really? It's not super visible from the front of the house anyway, is it?
Not at all.
Your plan from Moore Fence Company has on the 15-foot side where the fire pit is. Mm-hmm. The other side is, you're just going to leave it open, or will it be
And it will look good because then the deck is right above this, it won't wrap. This was the old fence. This is the fence.
This is where the pit is.
No, the
Side.
pit's way over here. But this side is what's going to block
Oh, I
us
see.
off from
So
the
it'll
neighbor.
already be,
This
it's
is the
already
higher.
there.
Yeah,
Okay, see.
that's already there, and then this
That's why it's not on
will
the plan.
wrap around,
Gotcha.
new gate and everything back there that will all match the
Yeah.
block. Anybody else need to see it?
I don't have any problem with the plan. I don't know.
No.
I move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the certificate of appropriateness to install a 4-foot black aluminum fence in the rear yard at 298 Academy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Thank you very much.
I'll either give that to Mr. Moore or put it in the mail to you.
All right, thank you.
okay, moving on to SGHC 002-25 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to replace an existing asbestos cement slate roof with an architectural shingle roof at 323 Seraphim Street.
Hello, I'm Nick Donzi. I live at 323 Seraphim Street, and I submitted the application for the roof replacement. It's correct, it is a cement, fiberglass, individual shingle roof. Installed, the insurance company has 2001, but I tend to think it's maybe even a little bit older than that. I can't say for sure, but there was a major renovation to the house in the 70s, and I would think that probably that's when that roof was installed. It's showing some wear and some damage. The tiles are pretty fragile. It made it through the hailstorm relatively well, but it's just time for replacement. And I can't find that type of shingle anymore to install to make it exactly the same. So I submitted a proposal for architectural asphalt shingles. I believe I had the Owens Corning suggestion there with the color. I'm in the process of getting 3 bids pending approval tonight. All the contractors are aware of that. 2 of the contractors do use the Owens Corning. The last contractor I chatted with, he uses a different brand, and I brought that with me, but it's basically the same color shingle, same shingle, just a different brand name that he's proposing to use if he gets the bid. So, I mean, that's basically in a nutshell.
You said the insurance company said they think that roof is put on when?
2001, which I don't.
I think that roof's probably original to your home.
Well, I grew up in a house that had those kind of shingles. It was built in the 40s.
You think it's original? It was built. This house was built in 33.
Yeah.
My house was built in 38, and that's what it had.
Is it really? Okay. Well, there you go. I was surprised that it could have been that
I mean,
old.
it's super
But-
cool,
It is.
but
But it's showing it. There's some shingles now missing. There was a little hail damage, a few holes here and there, and just over time, it's some are breaking and some are missing. So decided it's bite the bullet and try to get it fixed, get it replaced. It's not leaking or anything. It's not to that point, but I don't want to get to that point.
Does your contractor plan to keep the metal ridges on the
yeah,
roof?
the valleys.
The metal valleys,
Yeah.
no, he was not going to. Well, I will say this, the original bid that he gave me, he was going to do that with a different shingle. The shingle was an asphalt shingle, but it looked more like the individual rather than architectural. And his bid was very, very high to do that shingle and to maintain the valley, the metal valleys. So I don't believe these contractors with this shingle are proposing to do that. But
Oh, sorry.
no, it's fine. I'm sorry.
Was that like a 3-tab shingle, or was it one of those shingles that would look exactly like?
Well, it looks real similar to that, but
Like this, almost like this artificial slate?
Yes.
Speak, okay.
yes,
Yeah.
right, it was. Well, and on top of that, he had another shingle that wasn't even, I couldn't even think about doing it. So we dropped down to that mid-range one, and it was still quite expensive. So that's when we talked about trying to do the architectural shingles on it. So
I'm guessing probably your valleys are copper.
yes, I believe they are.
Like it.
Yeah, I believe they are.
That's why.
Yes, I believe they are. Mhm.
But
The valleys are, the gutters, those are not. Those were installed later. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess trying to think how many valleys that, 1, 2, 3, 4 valleys, I guess. I have one dormer and then on the front and back side as well.
Personally, I would think if you were able to go to an asphalt shingle, I think a 3-tab would look better. It would look better than,
Then the architectural.
yeah, in my opinion. I mean, it would look more like what you already have.
I did go around to try to find similar, there's not very many similar houses as ours. I mean,
Right.
I'm fairly certain it was not originally Tudor. And in the 70s, when they added the brick facade, I believe that's when they added the Tudor effect to it. And there was only really one other Tudor-like house that I could find in town, and it had an architectural shingle roof on it, but.
Do you have any thoughts?
I have mixed feelings. Thoughts? Suggestions?
I'd be okay with either one of these. The 3-tab though, if you were to go with that, there are 3-tab shingles on the market that have like a shadow line so that they look thicker, and that would look
Interesting.
more appropriate for,
Okay.
for a replacement material. I also, the ridge does add a lot of character to the roof. So I wonder if there's some sort of enhancement they can do to the ridge when they're replacing your roof that would be,
The ridge.
beef it up a little bit more. So
Right.
so that doesn't look.
Yeah, because it is the large,
Yeah.
it's just not the lapped over asphalt ridge, yeah.
And I would like to see you keep the valleys, upper valleys.
Yeah, I
If
wasn't,
you look at my house,
Huh?
when they did mine, which mine has architectural shingles, I apologize. But it does have the copper.
and they were able to keep, those were existing and they were able to,
The original.
to save those. I see, okay, yeah. Yeah, any roofs that I've been involved with that we've redone, but they were just normal roofs, right, houses. So we just started over from scratch, and even the valleys we redid with the standard practice of how they valley the asphalt shingles.
What do you think, Whitney?
So much pressure.
You said?
See if you got those feelings sorted out yet.
What I was concerned about was that ridge line and the copper valleys mostly. So I think if we can come to an agreement on those, I would feel much more confident.
I wonder if even when they had the roof vent, I mean, it looks a little different. No, they had the ridge vent.
Uh-huh.
It looks different, but at least you have that
At least you have the
something.
enhanced.
Oh, I did I've done those before.
Since you're going.
It's just a little
Yeah.
more pronounced, I guess,
Right.
for lack of a better term.
Yeah, yeah. Or it's just thicker than the shingle itself. So
Right.
it just look, that beats
Right.
it up a little bit.
Yes.
Looks more like the original.
I don't know if you do that with 3-tab. Which
I don't know. I'm sure they have all kinds of roofing products out there, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, actually, on this, they have, I think it's what you're talking about on the ridge.
I think it's the Vantage Ridge, but is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, see how they did
Yeah, yeah.
That's a bad ridge.
Yeah.
I mean, and these are architectural shingles, but.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Well, surely they had that,
Yeah, yeah.
which is
Exactly.
I don't know how you feel about like architectural shingles as opposed to 3-tab or whatever built.
So for my clarification, the request is for architectural.
Right.
Can we prefer to see retail?
No,
I'm okay with either one of them.
I mean, either, like I said, either way, they can keep the valleys. I mean,
Keep the valleys
I
in
know they can.
Invented Ridge. Mhm. And then either 3-tab or architectural, I don't,
Yes, yeah. The shadow line, if you do the 3-tab.
3-tab, yeah, I wrote shadow line on that. I'm not familiar with that, but I'm sure the roofers are.
Convoluted motion.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, it makes sense.
Okay, so somebody want to make motion?
No.
I move to approve with either architectural or a 3-tab shingle with a shadow line and a ridge, what do you call that?
Vintage.
Ridge vent type of
Vented Ridge cap. Mhm.
Yes, that's it.
And keeping
And keeping
the
the
original
topper
copper
valve.
valve.
Right. Yeah,
So the motion-
worded that correctly.
So the motion is to replace an existing asbestos or cement roof with either architectural shingles or 3-tab showing shadow, including keeping the metal valleys and making sure there is a, for lack of a better term, raised vented ridge.
The existing
Perfect.
metal valleys.
Yeah, existing.
So existing metal valleys.
Yes.
Whoever the contractor used, choose, I would make sure they,
Right.
because they'll want to take that
I don't
out.
want to tear that out.
Indeed, right. Well, the first bid I got, they did not take it out.
Okay.
Oh, they-
So no, they were, that was with the other larger
Oh, they were.
slate-like, they were going to keep that. So he's familiar with that process. Then when we went to the 3-tab, we were just going to do a
A lot
standard,
of people like just go over them, but
right.
a little less cutting they have to do, but it looks much nicer.
Was there a second?
No, not yet.
Oh, I'll second.
All right.
Okay, let me see if I can get this right. I have a motion and a second to accept a modified proposal for the certificate of appropriateness to either go with the proposed architectural shingle or a 3-tab with a shadow line, a vented ridge line, and keeping the original metal valleys.
Correct.
Nailed it.
Wrote it down. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
I will place that in the mail to you, sir.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Moving on to SGHC 003-25, to receive a certificate of appropriateness to replace 12 wooden windows on the sides and rear of the building with vinyl windows at 147 North 3rd Street.
So I just want to preface, I think everyone's familiar with this, but Mr. Stackel came to us a month ago for all vinyl. That was denied. Mr. Stackel appealed to the Board of Aldermen. The appeal was denied with the understanding that he would come back and ask for this.
Yes. I'm Jason Stackley. So me and my wife bought the house at 147 North 3rd, which is needing some serious repairs. Got a lot of siding issues, wood structure issues, things like that, interior structure issues, floor joist. I mean, the thing needs a lot of work, okay? My original request was all windows. Like Dave said, we got denied. I understand the reasoning. So I'm back here to try to get your approval to replace the sides and the back. I've already ordered the windows from Rivertown for the front out of good gesture to say that I'm willing to work with you. I'm not trying to change the world. I'm not changing any of the trim on the outside. All the trim's going to stay the same on all the windows. I'm not changing any roof structure. I'm keeping the original standing seam metal roof. We're going to have it coated. I don't want to change a lot of things. I just want to put modern windows in the side and the back.
Looks like you've got some new, they're new, but porch posts also that were cut.
They're wooden porch posts like they're supposed to be, as close as you can find. You can't find the exact post that's there, so we found what we could. I don't know what that lattice stuff is called in the corners, gingerbread stuff. I don't know what it is, but it was rough, and the contractor I had doing the siding was able to repair them. He recreated one. So, I'm willing to work with you guys. I just need a little help here. I can't afford to put wooden windows in this entire house. I mean, if I had to do that, I would pay more for windows than I paid for the whole structure. I know you're not supposed to consider cost here, but I'm just asking for a little help. I want to take the storm windows off. I don't want those. I think they're ugly. They're an eyesore. It's not how it's supposed to be. I want to go back where it looks appropriate.
I'm glad you corrected, because I go back and forth between Stackle and Stackley. So thank you for that.
If you say Stackle, most people don't know who I am. If I say Stackley or Steckley, they're like, "Oh, I know your great grandpa that came here in the early 1800s."
We were just having a conversation.
So I answered to all three. So whatever you want to do.
I feel you. I have the same problem.
Yeah.
I spoke at your appeal, you'll remember, and like I said, we don't take our jobs because we want to win friends. But on the other hand, it's not, our job is to uphold the integrity of the historic district that we have here in St. Genevieve. It's not to make you mad or make you spend more money or whatever. And, like I said, I think the commission's usually, as evidenced by the last gentleman was here, to work with people when what they're suggesting doesn't really match the ordinance that we have. So I'm just glad that we can come back and talk and discuss it since
I missed the first meeting. That was my fault. I had my Monday and Tuesday days messed
we
up.
would have been perfectly willing to talk with you then and compromise with you then. But yeah, I understand.
The alderman meeting I thought was the next step. I didn't realize we could come back here and do this. So,
Well, and I sent you the letter that was the next step, so
Yeah.
that's on me.
yep. So
Oh, yeah, too. Yeah, it's a little different when you miss the meetings.
I think I'm going to stop, in our history here, I'm getting off track, but I will kind of present for the applicant. I don't think I'm going to do that in the future. So if the applicant doesn't show,
Oh.
unless you all want to do something.
I got you, right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take us back on track.
You know how I am, butterfly,
Yeah.
squirrel.
Do we have any questions?
the windows that I want to put in they don't have any grids in them. They don't have any lattice. It's just, it's a solid 1/1 window. It's going to look just like what's there, only it's going to be a modern double pane window.
You're not changing window sizes or anything like that.
So the apron, the sill, all of that'll stay the same. It's literally just the individual sashes that we're replacing? Okay.
All the trim and all that stuff is going to stay the same.
So are you I want to clarify what he's asking. Are you putting in an entire new window or new sashes?
I want to replace the entire window. So you take the old ones out, you keep the original frame, and you stick a whole new
Right.
window assembly in.
Into that. Oh,
That's not what I'm doing on the front. I have windows ordered from Rivertown for the front. That
The
all,
decorative on the front is also staying there.
all the decorative on the front, on the side, it also has that decorative stuff on the front. That's all staying the same. All the trim around all the windows on the outside is
So
staying.
the exterior window surrounds will remain the same.
Not changing any of that.
I have to ask you, whose idea was it to paint it black?
You know the answer to that. You know the answer to that. We're working on it. We got some stuff coming. It won't look like the Halloween house forever.
It works great for the time of year. I'm not gonna have anything to say. I'm just curious. Yeah, too.
I don't design, I just make it happen. So,
Do you have any storage space for the old windows if you, or would you keep them? I'm just saying.
if that's part of the stipulation, I'll put them in the basement.
If someday somebody else wants to go, "Well, we want the old windows back in it," you know.
There's a giant concrete ledge like the size of this desk in the basement. I'll stick them up there and put some foam over them, and they'll be perfectly there till I say I don't want this house anymore.
Our original windows were in our garage when we bought our house.
Yeah.
As long as the basement doesn't fill up with water.
Not anymore. I have a sump pump down there that works.
That's important.
Yeah,
Even they trying to keep the electric on, huh?
yeah.
We ready
Thanks, Bill.
to make a motion? Additional questions? Gonna ponder it some more?
I mean, I'm not crazy about plastic windows, but,
I'm not either.
it's a compromise and,
That's my thing. I mean, I told Jason one time, I said, "You'll never get vinyl windows to us." But, I mean, at least you're going to with the wood ones on the front.
Yeah.
Which are visible from the street. Side ones a little bit, but not so much.
I'd tend to go for approval if the profile and the dimensions match the front. The bottom styles have to be the same
Yeah, the one over one.
size, yeah.
With the
Medium
real
red
size, yeah.
side, the same size.
Yeah.
If they're exactly the same size as what you're replacing.
I'd be okay with it. You want to save the rest of the windows?
What's that?
You want to save the rest of the windows?
Oh, I see. So, yeah. You
Yeah.
want to make a motion? Go ahead.
Sure. Sure.
No,
I'll make a motion to approve windows, as long as they're all the same size, 1/1s.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not changing the size.
I know.
I'm not gonna make them smaller, bigger, or anything. I don't want to get into that. So.
Up and the vinyl, the new windows in, and retain the old windows for a later date.
You got extra garage space? Is it safer at your house than mine?
I'll take the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said he wanted to get rid of the storm windows. Do we need to address that at all?
No.
Okay.
No, you can get rid of the storm windows anytime
No,
you want.
they're not.
Good. Then we're going straight in my dump trailer,
You know?
right onto the trash.
Okay.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the certificate of appropriateness to replace the 12 wooden windows on the sides and rear of the building with vinyl windows that are exact replicas, and with the stipulation you keep the originals for a later date.
Deal.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Have that in the mail to you, sir.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, moving
Repair.
Moving on to SGHC 004-25 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to paint a mural on the north side of the building at 10 South Main Street.
I'm Amber Brown. I own 10 South Main Street. So I just have been working with Kinsey Woke on a mural that we're going to get in between the door and the window, it's about a 12-foot by 12-foot area.
Do we have any questions?
What did they build? Do you even know what they made in that factory?
What do you, say it again?
You said at one time that was a factory.
It was, all women worked there. It was, sewing. It was Elders Manufacturing.
Shirtwaist factory.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what I was just curious.
Yeah.
Do you know when she's gonna start?
Tomorrow if we pass.
First nice day she can.
Well, it's dry. It's going to be a dry week, so she's looking forward to it.
Thursday.
It's supposed to rain Thursday. but-
They proceed tomorrow, like
Oh, really?
a very slight chance tomorrow afternoon. But, you know,
I personally don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I move for approval.
I love it.
okay, I have a motion to approve.
Oh, yeah, I think we're good.
Oh, Bill
I
did.
made
You
it.
didn't
Oh, you
get
did? Oh, sorry. I'm telling you, it's been a long day.
I have a motion and a second to approve the certificate of appropriateness to paint a mural on the north side of the building at 10 South Main Street. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I will not put that in the mail to you. I'll bring it down.
Thank you. It'll be next week if you put it in the mail
Or
If you're
farther.
lucky.
or longer.
Yes. Thanks, Amber.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the administrative approvals.
So the very top one there is a material replacement of wood window sashes at the building at 282 Market on the front. The rest of the remainder there, I believe there's 10, are all roofs replacing with same or similar material, same with gutters, same or similar material. It's a mixture. I have them here if you'd like to look through them, but kind of in line with what's been going on for a few months in town. And that's all I have under approvals.
Any other business?
I do just want to point out, I'll be going to the CLG conference Friday. So the state, SHPO is holding a CLG conference Friday, and I'll be in Jeff City for that. So
Okay.
that's all I have.
Okay. We can adjourn.
Yeah.